Hello, it's me, Barbalicious. Hi. I am going to do a dessert right now for part of my supper. I've never done this recipe before, so I'm kind of excited. It's like a strawberry jello cheesecake thing that I'm gonna do. So, and there's two parts to it. So I'm gonna do this part first, which is really weird. This is why I'm kind of like excited, but not. So we'll see what happens. So you add your jello, strawberry jello, or whatever flavor jello you want. You can do raspberry, strawberry. Just has to be jello. So you're gonna add that in here. I have my mixer master here. And to it, you add a cup of milk. I know, right? Crazy. So I'm gonna add a cup of milk. And then you just whisk it up. Mix it. Until all the sugar dissolves. So we're gonna do that. But then as that's going, I'm gonna whip up my cream cheese. To it, I got 8-ounce thing of cream cheese. I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar. Just turn this up a little bit. And now I'm gonna combine this up here and mix this together. Mix it until it's nice and smooth. Shouldn't take long. I put my cream cheese in the microwave for about 30 seconds beforehand, so it was soft, nice and soft. So I'm just gonna shut this down and we'll look at it and see, because it says you're supposed to mix it until all the sugar has dissolved, which it's not, because it's on the bottom, but I'm wondering if my thing's not getting to the bottom. Try it some more. And if you turn it up, if it'll make it better. I might have to switch it and use these instead. Try. Let's see this. That'll work. Oh, I think it's all dissolved. I think it is. I think it might be. Still got a bit of grind in it, but they said it takes a long time to do it. And that's what the instructions said, that your arm will get sore, and that's why I thought maybe I could use my mixer, but I'm wondering if it's just not getting in there. Down to the bottom. So we'll mix it by hand. Yeah, I can see it, it's not. So I'm going to clean these off and I'm going to use that. So I'll just finish this off until all the crystals are dissolved and then Okay, so I put it on the hand mixer thing and got it all, so now it's all dissolved and good to go. So then what you're supposed to do is add the cheese mixture to the jello mixture. So and then get it nice and fluffy. I think the next time if I were to do this recipe again, I think I might heat the milk up. Because usually it'll dissolve better, right? But we'll see. We'll see if we like this recipe. Never done it. So now we're gonna mix this together. It says whisk together the cream and the sugar, whisk together the jello and the milk, then add the milk mixture to the cheese mixture. So it's nice and smooth, fluffy. To me, it's really liquidy though. I'm not sure I like it. But we'll see. We'll see. Clean up my mess here, because that's all dissolved in there. All dissolved. It's nice and smooth. It's kind of like, I don't know, weird. Okay, and then you're supposed to add about 8 ounces of whipping cream, or Cool Whip, or if you have real whipping cream, whatever. So I'm going to add which is about a cup. 8 ounces is about a cup. So I did a little bit more than a cup. That's okay. And then you're supposed to fold it in. Then you pour it in to the pan, into this cake pan, and then you let it refrigerate for 2 hours. So we'll see what happens. Kind of a different kind of a recipe, but I was just interested because I was looking for a jello, cheesecake jello one, and I came across this one with the milk in it, and I was like, oh wow, that's different. Let's try it. So, but my whipping cream here is a little frozen still, lumpy dumpy. So I'm just gonna play with it, keep folding it, and I'll pour it into my cake pan, put it in the fridge, see what happens. Then I'm gonna come back because for supper tonight, I'm gonna make some tortellinis. So I've got my pasta dough I made up already, ready to go. So I'm gonna fold it out and get it all ready, and then I'm gonna show you how to do some tortellinis. Oh, I think this is good. So I'm just gonna finish playing with this and put it in the pan, and then I will come back. Okay, so I rolled out all my pasta dough. I got 3 sheets there. And now I'm just gonna mix up cheese sauce here to put in them. So I'm gonna do a little bit of ricotta and Parmesan cheese. You can do whatever you want. You can do meat, you can do add different kinds of cheeses in there. This is just what I'm gonna do for now. And then we'll go from there, because this, so just stir it up a little bit, like so. I'll put this aside. So you can do this different ways. You have to keep it covered though, because it'll dry out. And if you dry out your dough, then it'll be, you can't use it. So, you need to get a little bowl with some bit of water in it to see all the things. Okay, so I got a little bit of a bowl here with some water in it. And I got a little scooper, which I think it might be too big, but we're gonna go with it and see what happens. So, you can do this 2 different ways. You can use a pastry or a what do you call it? A dough cutter. And you can make little squares, or you can use a cutter and do circles. And you can do it that way too. Or if you've got a fancier one, then it'll have like the fancy little ends on it. So whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna do little squares here. Well, kind of big squares. I'm doing like 3 fingers and then measuring it like that to go down. So that's how big they're gonna roughly be. Kind of, sort of, and around that. So I'm gonna go 3 fingers then in the middle. So that'll be one. That'll be one. But I'm thinking that this little scooper that I got might be a little bit too big. So what you're gonna do is you fold it this way, then you pinch it off, or you can seal it with water, however you want to do it. Pinch it, and then you fold these two ends together. Push that down if you want, or you can keep it up, because then it looks like he's important. He's a soldier, standing up little soldier. So they're fairly big. I don't think I'll do them that big, because that's pretty big. You want them to be small, but go big or go home, right? So you pinch. Some people do it this way, where they pinch it, then they fold this over, and then they go this way backwards. And you put your finger in there or whatever, and then they're like that too. I've seen that being done. I've seen them done this way too. Everybody's got different folding methods, right? Where they fold it like straight in half like this. To me, this is more of a ravioli. And then they fold this over, and then they twist this back too, like this. So it looks kind of like that. I don't like that. I like these ones, the stand-up ones like this. But they're a little big. So if you want to do it smaller, you wouldn't just put in half the amount of the sauce in there. And fold it over, so it makes a triangle. Right. And then fold these two sides together. Pinch them off. It still comes out fairly big. So there you go. That's tortellinis. Little tortellinis. Well, kind of medium-sized tortellinis. They're not so little. But I guess if I didn't cut them so big, like if I cut them smaller, let's try that one here. I'll try this. See if I like the smaller one better. Because when you get them in the store, they're pretty tiny. Right? They're not so big like that, because it's like, but whatever. Twist this over, match it up. Yeah, that's a smaller one. That's still fairly big, whatever. 1 tortellini, 2 tortellinis, 3 tortellinis, 4 tortellinis, 5. So, I'm just gonna continue on making these and show you what they all look like when I'm done. As you're making them, I would get a cookie sheet, put some parchment paper down with a little bit of flour on it so they don't stick. A little bit of flour, and then put these on here. Because what you do then afterwards is the amount that you want to eat for supper tonight or whatever, then you can just take this cookie tray, stick it downstairs in the freezer, freeze them, and then once they're frozen, you can put them in Ziploc bags and save them for later too. So that's what you can do. Okay, so I'm gonna make my sauce to go with my tortellinis. I'm gonna do a vodka tomato sauce. So I got my pan heated. Just gonna chop up some onion. Finely chopped. And I'm going to add some butter and oil. I'm going to add the onions. garlic. I'm just going to crush up some of this stuff here. Garlic, couple cloves. There's one. There's two. And there's three, and it's all back here on the thing, so scrape it off. And then I'll chop some up too. Just like that. So it's a little bit bigger. And there we go. And we're just going to saute this up and get it so it is translucent and you can smell it. And I'm dropping food on the floor. Garlic. And I got some diced tomatoes here I'm going to add to it. I'm just going to get these cooking. Okay, and then I'm going to add a quarter of a cup of vodka. Use whatever vodka you have. I've got this. And this you're going to cook for about 10 minutes to get the alcohol out, but you're going to have the taste of the vodka in there. So I'm just going to let this cook for about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you what we do next. Okay, while this is still cooking, I'm going to put together some meatballs here. So I got, in my bowl, I have the seasonings that I want for my meatballs. I just added in whatever I usually add in, and then I did an egg and some breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese I added to it too. So I'm just going to add my meat to it. So my seasoning was garlic, onion powder, Worcestershire sauce, dried mustard, and I think that was about all I put in there. And I did an egg and some breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to mix that all up. Let's combine it there. Like so, and I'm just going to let this sit on the side and do its thing. And then once the sauce is cooked and ready to go, then I'll add the meatballs into the sauce, and meatballs will cook in the sauce. Just waiting on this stuff here to cook. So this has been cooked down. It's good to go. I'm going to add the diced tomatoes in there. I'm going to let these cook in here for about 5 minutes or so too, just to get them all yummy and delicious. And I have this on a low. It's about on like 300, 250, 300. Keep going back and forth with it. So I'm just going to let this sit in here and fry up a little bit. And you got to do it in layers so everything gets flavored. So I'm going to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll come back. So my tomatoes have been cooking, and I gave it a little bit of a taste. And I can't even taste any vodka in there, so I'm not going to add any more though, but I'm going to add some peppered or crushed chilies. I'm going to add some oregano. I'm going to add some dried Italian seasoning. And some basil. Give it a little stirry stir. Like so. You can hear it bubbling away, cooking wiggly. Take a spoon here, I'm just going to taste it. before I add my meat to it, because once I add my meat to it, I can't add any more seasoning because it'll be too delicate. Yeah, that's good. So I'm just going to turn it down to about 275. And then I still have to add the cream to it, but I'm going to add my meatballs first. I have a little thing here. So just scoop it, put it in. And they'll cook right in the sauce and they'll be delicious and yummy. You can brown these too if you wanted to before you add them in, but I do it this way. There you go. There's my meatballs in there. Now I'm just going to put a lid on. I'm going to let them cook. And I'll come back and show you what it looks like when we have the other stuff. My tortellinis look like when I was finished making them, and then I froze a bunch of them too, so I just portioned them out for us for supper tonight. I got my water boiling, and I'm just going to throw them in there when the water's rapidly boiling. Here's the tortellinis that are all cooked. They ballooned up quite a bit, so there's going to be lots here for days. I'm just going to add this in and let them sit in the sauce for a few minutes, and then we'll plate up and we're ready to eat. Yummy, yummy.